I actually started practicing martial arts when I was, I think, 5 or 6 years old, back in New Orleans, and I started out doing Taekwondo. And the reason why my brother and me we started doing martial arts was mainly because so we were Air Force military brats. When my mom got out the Air Force, she decided to move us back to her home, which is New Orleans. So with me and my brother, we didn't sound like the regular New Orleans kids, right? We used to say the whole word. So they used to pick on us and this and that. So our parents decided to put us in Taekwondo so we can learn how to defend ourselves, build confidence, and learn some discipline too. So that was the start of my martial arts, I guess, life experience was to develop confidence and ability to defend myself against bullies that my brother and me was encountering at school. With that, I think we got up to like black belt in Taekwondo.
Hello, my name is John Squire. The reason why I got into jujitsu back in 2012 was I needed something to keep myself busy when I wasn't doing homework while in technical training.
I started practicing boxing jiu-jitsu because my dad made me in the summer of 2020.
And then I joined the Air Force, and at my first base, Yokota Air Base in Japan, in like 2000, I think 2009, 2010, I got into doing jujitsu. And the reason why is because I wanted to get back to martial arts. I wasn't feeling Taekwondo. I was like, I want something different because I was like, hey, most fights end up on the ground. So I was looking for martial arts like that, and just so happened they had jiu-jitsu on base at Yokota, and I got into doing. So I started doing there and training. Then I went from doing jiu-jitsu in Japan. I did jiu-jitsu in Portugal when I got stationed over there. Then I came to Korea, did jiu-jitsu, and but so that's like how I started, and that's why I got into it. But the main reason why I stick with jiu-jitsu is because I like jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is it's like playing chess essentially, and you're constantly thinking. It teaches you to get used to thinking under pressure, and it's just I think this is a all around good sport that can translate into your real life, um, any real life situation. Whereas you might be under extreme pressure, but because you trained your body to know how to think, that you trained yourself to know how to think under extreme pressure through jiu-jitsu. When you're at work, you have a stressful situation, you're able to still think clearly because you're used to that type. You use those type of situations, and plus, it's one of those sports that like you can do till you old, you know. So that's why I got into martial arts.
What does martial arts mean to me? It means just having discipline to worry about your own self development, but also worry about the generations of people to come after you. Martial arts is definitely a journey. It's not an overnight pursuit, and it just requires a lot of mental fortitude to deal with managing time, injuries, and demands, especially with things like being in the military.
Single, had no family, it was just me. I was training jiu-jitsu like 5 to 6 days a week. To me, it was my outlet, it was my release, it was my way to get rid of stress. It was a way for me to maintain myself and staying grounded. It helped me. It helped me a lot. Like I said earlier, with jiu-jitsu, I feel like it translates into your day-to-day lifestyle, right? Because in jiu-jitsu, you're constantly putting yourself you're making yourself become comfortable with being uncomfortable so you can learn how to operate in an uncomfortable environment. So when it came to work, I was like, this is easy, we could do this, like, you know what I'm saying? Because martial arts in general, it teaches you to be dangerous but disciplined. And I think that's the biggest thing I love about martial arts is it teaches people to be dangerous but disciplined, therefore making you um, know, making you be well aware of what you can and can't, what you know you can do, but at the same time, you have the discipline and control not to enact violence when you know you can enact violence. So it teaches you to elevate your mindset, your emotions, and your ability above the average common person who don't have that level of discipline of themselves. So is that for me? That's what martial arts does. It teaches you to be dangerous but disciplined. which I think is a very important thing, especially for young boys growing up who are who could be considered dangerous, but they're not disciplined. So martial arts to me is a very good way to teach people to learn self-control.
It gives me control, focus, and it helps me deal with people who like to pick on people that's smaller than them.
I could say teaching martial arts, jujitsu specifically, it just means that you're definitely being part of something that's way bigger than yourself, which is always a challenge because in jujitsu, you always feel like you could know more, but being able to be a teacher, you help sharpen up your own toolkit, but you also are able to give your knowledge and kind of like the most direct path to help certain people advance their game.
Like I said earlier, what is gained is the ability to learn discipline, the ability to become dangerous but disciplined. Right? I'm a firm believer, like in people should know what they're capable of doing. I think it's dangerous when you don't know what you're capable of doing because you might get in a situation and your emotions might take over, and then something bad happens, and you like, oh, I didn't know, right? So martial arts teaches you who you are, what you're capable of doing. So martial arts teaches you self-awareness. It teaches you to be aware that you are very strong, and if you were to do something wrong in an emotional state without thinking, you can cause serious harm to another person or even objects. So martial arts teaches us, like I said, it teaches us that we're dangerous, but it also teaches us that we are teach us to be disciplined. Therefore, we're always in self-control. It teaches us to think in a rational mindset versus an emotional situation instead of emotional situation, right? So martial arts teaches us to be self-control human beings who are dangerous. Right?
I would say the biggest thing gained from doing jujitsu is you just learn to have better relationships with people. You learn how to take care of your body. You learn to just share something that you love with other people. And you just realize that martial arts isn't for everybody, but the majority of people that you meet through martial arts will be lifelong friends and people that you will be able to count on whenever you need them.
So martial arts, it helps me build up confidence to defend myself, protect my friends from bullies.
I would have to say my end goal in jujitsu is to achieve my black belt. I know that's several years away, and as a purple belt, I know that it's going to take a lot of time and dedication to get there. But having a good group of friends who have promoted to brown belt and to black belt, I feel like that's something that I would like to achieve because it's probably one of the hardest things I could ever earn, but it's one of the biggest things that no one could ever take away from me.
End goal right now, coming off of this sabbatical, is to get back in shape. No, that's not my end goal. I guess that's my start to middle goal. Because, like I said, I fell off. I gained a lot of weight. My cardio, everything's down, but I'm slow. I'm slowly getting back into it. But my end goal is to one day achieve a black belt. It might be a long ways for me, but I will get there. And to teach, have my own gym, teach other people because I do love the sport of jiu-jitsu. I love what it does. Like I said, I'm a firm believer in people knowing their capabilities, knowing that you're strong, knowing that knowing where your weaknesses too. And so not just your strengths, but knowing your weaknesses. Because my goal, I like teaching that. I like explaining it to people who gets into martial arts is that you will become a dangerous person, but you will know how to control yourself. So my end goal is to one day open my own little gym, become Professor Jason in jiu-jitsu.